Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video, and this is going to be another Q&A video. I'm doing something a bit different with these now. I'm going to keep them a bit shorter, so there's not going to be as many questions in them, maybe between like 7 to 10 questions instead of my usual like maybe 15 to 17, just so I can keep them shorter, but also release more, so I can do them more often. So yeah. Now just one quick thing to address, a lot of people have been commenting about maybe like the dip in the activity on the channel, not necessarily me uploading, but say like responses, like views and stuff like that. And people have been asking me if I'm worried about that. I'm not really worried. This time of the year, it's always dead. Even when the seasons start up, it's a dead period because not every single country has the shows. So I'm not really worried about that. But if you do want to support the channel during this like down period, just, share the videos, leave likes on the videos and all of that good stuff. Now, a lot of people have been asking about a setup video. I did actually say I might do one. I can't remember if I said I would do one or I might do one. But if you do want to see it, just let me know in the comment section down below. And I know, leave a like on the video just to show your support for that. And also, as I said, it's a Q&A video. I'm planning to do more of these more often, so do leave more questions for these Q&A videos in the comment section down below. But let's get straight into it. So question 1 comes from Mr. Flurrow, and he asks, what do you think of the theory that Dinah Drake's partner who died is Vigilante? Now, I've seen this one come up a decent amount, not a lot, just a decent amount. It's not like the most wild theory out there, but I've seen it a couple of times. And it's possible, I just don't think it would be that good of a reveal, because what they've said about Vigilante is that he's a character that we know. So whoever's under the mask, we're familiar with. And really, how long did we spend with Dinah Drake's partner? Like, what, less than a minute? And how many lines did he say? Like, hardly any. So if he was Vigilante, I think it would actually be very disappointing. But I guess he still could be Vigilante, like it's still a possibility. Question 2 comes from Amer Muzamil. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name, dude. But he asks, do you think that Booster Gold will appear on Legends of Tomorrow? And if so, how do you think he will show up? Now, this is actually a good question because when Legends of Tomorrow was starting to go up and Rip Hunter was cast, the name Booster Gold started getting chucked around. Because if you don't know, Booster Gold in the comics is Rip Hunter's father, but in the comics, like Rip Hunter is like Booster Gold's boss, if you want to call it that. Like he's superior, but yeah, in reality, Booster Gold is actually Rip Hunter's father. So it would be pretty cool if they brought that into the show. The issue is that they're working on like a Booster Gold movie, so they might not want to, they're like with DC, like with the movies and the TVs, they don't really like to like mix it. So that's the only real like a barrier facing it. But it would be pretty cool if they did introduce Booster Gold, to Legends of Tomorrow. I don't necessarily know how they would bring him in, because Booster Gold's just sort of out there character. But yeah, I'd be all for him coming on Legends of Tomorrow. Question 3 comes from Super Bat Action, and he asks, do you think the Thinker will actually be called the Thinker or just DeVoe? Now, once again, another good question, because on the show so far, at the end of Season 3, they never referred to him as the Thinker. They just referred to him as DeVoe. So I think that's what they're going to go down with, Season 4 of The Flash. I don't think they're really going to call him the Thinker. Like Cisco might call him the Thinker, or like the news tabloids might label him as the Thinker, but I think like Barry and the rest of Team Flash will most of the time just refer to him as DeVoe, just because I think that just makes more sense. Question 4 comes from Martin Mackay, and he goes, do you ever think that Dinah Drake and Oliver will get together like in the comics? Honestly, I think a lot of people were saying this, like, because remember last season there was like this big controversy when they did cast the new Black Canary, and then they called it Dinah Drake, which is the name of a Black Canary in the comics. There's a lot of controversy around that, and then the other conversation came up about, okay, well, Green Arrow and Black Canary are together in the comics, so will Dinah and Oliver get back together? Or get together, might I say. And, look, the chemistry between them isn't very good, so if they did actually start something romantic on the show, I don't think it would actually be that good. In regards to like the romantic chemistry, like you actually believe that those two characters like each other, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Like, in regards to a teammate chemistry, it's good, but in regards to like a romantic or a romanticized chemistry, it wouldn't work at all. So hopefully they don't go down that route. There was a scene in Season 5 where it's like Oliver and Dinah in a car. It's really one of the few scenes where it's just them as well. But it's Oliver and Dinah in a car or like in a van, and like you just feel the chemistry wasn't there. I think like Dinah was, if anything, if Dinah was going to get with anyone on the show, to be completely honest, it would probably be Diggle. But obviously Diggle's married. So yeah, no, Donna and Oliver, not. But I don't know. I think they said that Dinah's going to get in a relationship this season because it is the CW. They sort of had to do that. But I have no idea who it might be with. Maybe Wild Dog. Who knows? Question 5 comes from Joseph Sepulveda. Hopefully I've got that right. And he goes, do you think The Flash will do Barry's brother from the comics? Now, terribly worded question there, Joseph. You could have worded that much better because there's something sexual going on with that one. But yeah, I think what he's referring to is Cobalt Blue, which is Malcolm Thorne, who is Barry's twin brother that was separated at birth. So I don't think they'd do that storyline. As I've said, if they're ever going to do Cobalt Blue on the show, it would have to be Eddie Thorne. Like, it'd have to be like either another Earth's Eddie Thorne or the Eddie Thorne from Earth 1 from season 1 that got sucked into the Speed Force or into that, like, the time, the whatever it was called, the singularity, and something happened to him there. But the thing with that is that with Eddie on the show, they've given him a good ending. Like, they've sort of tied off the Eddie Thorne storyline, and I don't think there's any real need to touch him again, to touch Eddie Thorne again in regards to Earth 1. They could do something with Earth 2, but even I think if they touch like a version of Eddie Thorne in the multiverse, even then it's just sort of like it could be ruining the storyline that Eddie Thorne already had. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but I would like to see Cobalt Blue on the show. He's a pretty damn cool character. Technically not a speedster, even though he can use speed. But yeah, I know, we'll have to wait and see. Question 6 comes from Funny Profile Pic, and he goes, would you rather a Green Lantern show or a Hawkman / Hawkgirl show? And to be honest, I think everyone's answer, like, it depends. Like, if it was a new Hawkman, Hawkgirl, I think I might reconsider my answer because, like, no offense to the actor and actress that played Hawkgirl and Hawkman in Legends of Tomorrow, I wasn't the biggest fan of them. Hawkman was okay, but he was a bit bland, and I just didn't really like Hawkgirl that much. So if they recasted that, then I'd have to wait and see. But just based off what I know, if they were going to use the same actors to play Hawkgirl and Hawkman, I would go with the Green Lantern show just because Green Lantern has like endless possibilities. It's really awesome. But yeah, I think it's almost impossible that we'd get a Green Lantern show. I think out of these two, the most likely one to happen would be a Hawkman and Hawkgirl show. But Green Lantern would be awesome to see on TV. Our question 7 and our second last question of the video comes from Deadric Death. I think I pronounced that right. And he or she goes, do you like Constantine and do you think that they will bring it back? And my answer to that is, I like Constantine. I didn't love it. There was issues with the show. I'm very surprised it wasn't on the CW to begin with because it was very like supernatural. Obviously the show's supernatural and I guess just the theme of supernatural. So I'm very surprised it wasn't on the CW. I think if it was on the CW, I think it would have stayed on. I think it would have got a season 2. It could be up to like, what, season 4 now I think it'd be heading into. I think it started the same year as Flash. So it'd be heading into like a season 4 if it stayed on air. And the guy that played Constantine, or John Constantine, which is Matt Ryan, perfect. A lot of people want him to actually be Constantine in the DCEU if he comes into it. And he's getting his own like animated series on the CW Seed. Obviously he voiced Constantine in the Justice League Dark movie. He appeared as Constantine on Arrow. So I don't know, like the character is obviously popular. I think it's just maybe the show that he was in, like some of the writing and stuff wasn't the strongest, and it's actually what had the downfall of the character, or the show might I say, because I think he's probably the most like authentic character probably in any of like the DC TV shows in regards to like the source material. So it's disappointing the show's not back on because I think the guy played the role well. And I don't think they'll bring it back. I think he might appear again like as he did on Arrow. In regards to an actual live action show, I think that's probably dead for now. But I don't know, if you do have hopes for it coming back in live action, watch the hell out of the CW Seed Constantine series whenever that starts. I'm not too sure when it comes out. It should be soon. But yeah, watch the hell out of that and just like support that. And you never know, they might bring him back in live action in some way. And the last question of the video comes from Shane Hutch, and I think he's asked questions before. And he goes, thoughts on Iris West becoming a speedster? Now I included this in the video. I think it's probably going to be the video title because it'd be typically me if I put that in the title. But a lot of people have actually asked this, and I'm not too sure about it. I'm not too sure if Iris West should become a speedster because there is a lot of animosity and just like maybe drama might be the good word to use around the Iris West character because she's such a central part of the show. But really, if you weren't familiar with the comics and you were just watching the show, you'd be wondering, why is this girl or this lady such a central part of the show? She doesn't really do anything. So that's a major issue with the Iris West character. In season 1, you really couldn't complain with that because she wasn't really involved with Team Flash for the most part of that season, and she was doing her own thing, which was good for the character. But really, season 2 sort of fell off that. There was still some central part to her, like journalism stuff in season 2, but it did slowly fall off. And season 3 was probably the worst season for Iris, and she was the main part of it, really. Like, the whole season was based around Iris, and it was probably the worst season for Iris in regards to trying to win back people that might not like her too much. So hopefully in season 4, they do something with the Iris West character. I don't think her becoming a speedster is one of the things they should do, unless it's like a one-off episode where it's like a multiverse version of Iris is a speedster. That could work. But in regards to Earth 1 Iris becoming a speedster, no go. Do not go down that road. As I said, multiverse version of Iris West would be the only way for them to introduce a speedster Iris West, and for it to not make people angry and just a bit annoyed. So maybe just steer clear of Earth 1 Iris West Speedster. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As I said, just leave a like to support the channel and this video. Let me know in the comments section down below if you'd like to see a setup video, as well as all your other questions you want for different Q&A videos in the future. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.